Welcome to sportsreview.com, our Week 4 Premier League rundown powered by Pinnacle. I've got Jamie James. JJ is a winner to my left. That's his Twitter handle. I've got Nigel Seeley on the line. We're going to predict winners for you this weekend. How confident are you guys?
I am so fired up today. I know it's cliche that, but I'm so excited. I got 9 out of 10. I'm going to go this weekend. That's how fired I am.
That'll be a record.
Up I am. You're looking beautiful, and I'm with my new best friend forever, Nigel. Welcome, Nigel.
All right, JJ, he's my new best mate. Follow him on Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Follow the guys on Twitter. I'm going to go even better now. I'm going to go 10 out of 10.
Well, you've done 7 out of 10, Nigel. So you're holding the record right now.
Yeah, he is. He did very well. Week 3, and you've been doing great as well. So it's time I step up, and I'm going to hit 9 out of 9. That's what I'm doing. I'm not joking. I am.
All right. First of all, obviously, we had a very good, successful World Cup qualifying predictions, didn't we?
We did very, very well.
Did very well. Nigel, how did you feel you did?
Well, I thought I did really well till England scored that last minute goal.
Oh,
just
mate.
a right tweet to say 0-0. We've got the lot, but we did 1-0. But I thought that one. I forget about the other games. I forget about the Scotland game. I know a couple of people there had it right off. But for me,
Scotland, the over. Who had that one?
Not me.
Yeah.
Me.
And that was Nigel just going against you.
No, that's it. Hold on, Nat. Let's get into it.
All right.
Fired up. You're going to have to fan me down. I'm going red. I feel like my head's going to explode.
All right. We're going to kick it off with the Manchester derby here. Manchester United versus Manchester City. Manchester United are the favourites there, 2.4 Pinnacle. But a lot of people are saying this is too early in the season to be able to both pick a winner and pick tips in this match. Nigel, what are you thinking?
I think it's right. If you read my preview of the game, which is over on the site as well, I think the thing is here. I think it's too early. I think both sides will be looking at this game thinking to themselves they don't want to lose it. And I think in most times, as JJ will tell you there as well, as a trader as well, sometimes we expect the obvious. It's best to swim against the tide. I'm going against low goals. I think it's going to be a dull fest. I think 0-0's a big runner. I think under 2.5 goals is a runner. But I like both teams not to score. For the last 5 games between these two sides in this fixture, both teams haven't scored. And I think that's the way to profit.
Yeah, well, do you know, it was 1-0 Man United, then the time before 0-0. Is the trend our friend in this one, Nigel? Should we bet the under?
Well, I totally bang on the money there. It's like usually the bookies clean up. They take loads of action on one side, loads of action on the other. Nigel's worked the industry as well. He knows this, and it ends up being a draw. However, I am taking United to win. I had him at 2.30 there with 365, but now I take it 2.4. And I reckon Zlatan is going to score.
It's not bad bet. I'm passing on this one, actually.
You like that as well, Nat, do you?
No, I'm going to pass, to be honest with you. But if I were going to play, I'd actually probably be looking for goals in this one between the two of them.
Yeah.
Over 3 matches, they've scored a total of 15 goals. However, Manchester United have only conceded 1 goal at home. So that could probably point to your Man United win.
Well, I'm telling you, it's going to be going off 5:30 Mountain Time, the time here in Costa Rica in the mornings. When that alarm starts going, at 5 o'clock on the Saturday morning, that's just going to be the signal for money. Man United are going to win. Take that to the bank and cash it, my friends.
Well, before we get carried away about both these teams' performance, look at the teams they played. Man United have scored 6 goals in 3 games against Bournemouth, Southampton, Hull. City have managed 9 goals against Sunderland, Stoke, and West Ham. This isn't the kind of... Don't look too closely into the trends of the goals. Look at the opposition. The oppositions are awful. This is going to be tight. Early in the season, go under 2.5 goals. Both teams will score. Definitely a no. 1 goal will win it.
They're all Premier League teams, mate. Do not forget that.
But they're not good Premier League teams, JJ. We all know that as well.
Moving on, Natalie.
All right, moving over now to Arsenal versus Southampton, Saturday 10th. Arsenal, very big favourites here, 1.56 Pinnacle. Southampton come in a further 6.5. I think it's not to maybe look at Southampton. Obviously, they've bounced back. They had a shaky start. They've obviously got their first win of the season, playing at home now. But it's how poor Southampton are doing. They've yet to win, 2 draws and a loss. Very poor form, only 2 goals scored. I think this is really pointing to a clear Arsenal win. So much so, I'm going to take Arsenal -1. And I've got those odds there, 2 with Paddy Power.
I'll make you a bet. I guarantee you, Mr. Arsenal fan will be going for that as well. Is that right, Nigel?
JJ, listen, throughout the years, the last year I've done this season, I've always had a go at Arsenal when they needed to have a go at. I think not because Arsenal are playing exceptionally well. And what I'm hearing over in the UK here, speaking to people, I know a few players who play for Southampton, and I write very closely in that club. They're in problems. The manager isn't well liked. They've got rid of top quality managers in Pochettino. They've got rid of managers in Ronald Koeman. They've got rid of some really, really hard-class players. And you can't keep doing that in the Premier League. You can't be a selling club. You've got to bring in players. The Claudio Puel's come in. He hasn't set the dressing room alight. I think they're a team in really, really big trouble. And their record at Arsenal is shocking. The last time they won it was 1987. And JJ, you would have had this song. China in Your Hand from Tapao. Do you remember that song? That was number one the last time they won. They're not winning this game.
Well, let me tell you what's happening. Southampton are getting the job done. Arsenal can let themselves down. I'm taking Southampton on the win. What am I getting? I've got 6 down. Have you all now seen?
6.5 Pinnacle.
6.5, so that's going to win me 6.5 units with my 1 unit play. It's going to be an upset. They're going to get the job done. You're both wrong on that one.
Right.
Well, I tell you, that sun, or that beer has gone to your head big time. I'm telling you now, they've got absolutely no chance. Arsenal win to 0 here.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Win to 0, 2.7.
No, Southampton's winning.
All right. Victory dance here, I feel, when one of these two are right.
Right.
But, moving on, Bournemouth versus West Brom now. Bournemouth are favourites 2.1, yet they have yet to win a match. And I don't think that is fair, personally. I'm not playing Bournemouth to win. Nigel, what are you thinking? Should they be favourites? Should we play Bournemouth?
Well, we spoke earlier about this in another preview we did as well. I think Bournemouth probably will win the game. Would I back them at the price and offer? No. They've been backed very, very heavily in the UK in the last 48 hours. They've gone from like 2.36 into 2.1. Like you say, 2.1. I think this is a reflection of West Brom. Tony Pulis is a manager under huge pressure. The fans want him out. There's a rumour that he's lost the dressing room. There's a rumour around that the chairman wants him to go as well. This could be Tony Pulis' last game. Bournemouth, massive boost. Jack Wilshere going there. Brilliant player. Will he prove it? Or will he be injured in the warm-up? That's the problem. Stoke bet for me.
Well, you never know with him. I'm actually agreeing with both of you here. I'm actually going to take Bournemouth to win. I still think that's quite a decent price and they get the job done there.
All right. I'm looking at, actually, I'm going for there's a lack of goals between these two, 4 goals between the two of them. I do like the under 2.5 goals, but that's very low, 1.56. I'm wondering whether to play both teams to score no, and then possibly combining that with the under 2.5 goals, 1.95. I'm on the fence right now. Guys, should I take it or not?
I don't know. What do you reckon, Nige?
Well, I think on current form, you should certainly take it. But this fixture, surprisingly, over the last 5 years, has seen both teams score pretty much every single game. So it's not a game that I like to look at previous fixtures. Some people don't like to look at them, but I like that kind of form. On current form, definitely a no. But for me, I think this is a tricky looking game. I think Bournemouth will win the game because of the uncertainty at West Brom. But at 2.1, not for me.
Right.
All right. Do you have a bet on this one, Nigel?
I'll pass in this one. I'm not going to have a bet on it.
Only people that pass are people that are NFL quarterbacks, and I don't see you as an NFL quarterback, Nigel.
I'm more of a wide receiver, JJ.
All right, mate. Yeah.
Quarterback, passing my balls, and I'm going down there getting the big money.
All right. Okay.
All right, Burnley versus Hull. I think it's a very tricky game. Personally, this is a pass for me. Burnley 2.6, Hull 3.18. All those odds with Pinnacle. Burnley obviously started their season strong, didn't they? Beating Liverpool 2-0. But then Hull have not been too bad. Obviously, they've had 2 wins and then 1 loss to Manchester United. Yeah. I think this is going to be very close. Possibly the draw, possibly the upset, and seeing a Hull win.
And they've had such terrible problems, and it's amazing when you have these internal problems. How the players step up, the coaching staff has stepped up there, and they've done amazingly well, Nigel. I mean, you're there in England, then they've had some ridiculous problems, right, mate?
Oh, incredible! I mean, they've only had 13 players. They've only had certain. Everyone expected these two to go down. But one thing about this game has got a history of under goals. I mean, if you look at the matches between these two in the past, the last 7 matches between these sides, under 1.5 goals has come in 6 times. Wow. And I think already at this time of the season, you've got to look at this game thinking, okay, let's just take a point from this game. If we can win it, this is nervy. Both of these sides know if they finish 4th from bottom in the Premier League, it's been a fantastic season. And I think this could be a boring 0-0. But I think under 1.5 goals here. I know you don't like, your trends, you're not your friend sometimes, JJ. But I look at this game here, and I think 2.75 under 1.5 goals with William Hills is a fantastic bet. If you look at it, every single game, I think 5 of the last 6 games between these sides have all been 1-0 either way, and 1 goal will win it.
The thing is, though, mate, what I'm seeing with this game is this is a game that both teams, I think, would think they have a chance of winning. Mm-hmm. So it's like a 6-point relegation dogfight, even though we're just in September. I mean, if I was looking at this, I'd be thinking this is both sides a game they can win. So I totally understand what you're saying there, your stats. I'm not going to be saying goals, but I believe from what I've seen from Hull this year, I'm taking them at 3.25 or 3.65. I think that's good value.
Yeah, I was leaning towards a Hull, to be honest with you. I've only got leans on this match. The other one I was thinking is both teams to score.
Look how professional I am. I've got me clipboard, I've got me paper, I've got me pen. I'm fired up. I'm going 9 out of 9 this weekend. That one's coming in as well at 3.25. You have to get me a wheelbarrow sent over from London next week, mate. All the money I'm going to be making.
There is a wheelbarrow shortage around where I live because I've got them all in my back garden, JJ.
Oh, God.
You're not winning nothing. Trust me.
All right. Okay, Middlesbrough versus Crystal Palace. Nigel with his wheelbarrows. Let's see if he's going to fill it up with this match. Middlesbrough 2.32, Crystal Palace 3.62. All those odds there with Pinnacle. The home team have yet to lose, whilst Crystal Palace have yet to win. I think it's going to be a very tricky match. Both teams vying for those 3 points. The question is who is going to walk away with all 3 points, or is both going to walk away with a point?
Well, let's start with Nigel.
Well, I'm going to get my wheelbarrow. I'm going to push it along to the betting shops. So I'm going to walk straight past and go and buy a newspaper. I'm not getting involved in this game. I think this is a tricky looking thing. Alan Pardew, absolutely a man. Another manager under pressure. Crystal Palace not scoring enough goals.
Do you rate him as a manager, though, Nigel? All jokes aside, mate.
I think he's been a very lucky manager. I think he's been a guy who lives on his persona as a guy who can. He's like a poor man's Jose Mourinho.
Yeah, because I hear your sources there back in England. I mean, he does get on well with his players, doesn't he? The players have a lot of respect for him, don't they? Or
I don't think so.
No,
there's a lot of stories about Alan Pardew which we can't divulge into this on this chat. But I don't think he does. I think he's someone who he believes his hype.
Right.
I've met him once. I met him once. On one occasion, I met him. And he wore a pair of glasses, and they didn't have any lenses in them. That sums me up what kind of guy Alan Pardew is.
Well, he better put his glasses on this weekend, but I'm telling you, I'm taking them.
Oh,
very,
yeah.
very passionate fans as well, Palace. They travel well to that game, and I believe this is a game that Palace will look at and believe, again, this is someone they can beat. Mm-hmm. And go for it. And I'm taking them, Palace. I'm getting over 3.60 game. You might forget the wheelbarrows. We'll have to get his skip.
Well, you're making a lot of sense this week, JJ, I have to say. You have been doing your homework.
Well,
it's making a bit more sense than he has previously done.
I smashed it last week out at the ballpark.
I think Natalie, what it is, he's got some competition.
That's I know. He's like, oh dear.
I had to raise my game. I've come in early. I've got me clipboard. I got me pen. I mean, God.
He's got to raise his game. But the thing is, he's done on the research, but it's still coming out. I think Crystal Palace go there, try to get a 0-0 draw. Middlesbrough are a very good side. I think
they are good. All jokes aside, though, guys, aren't Middlesbrough a good team, right? You've
also got to remember as well, Crystal Palace have brought in Christian Benteke. They've also brought in other players as well in the transfer window. But they're in transition. I'm not so sure whether it's the right time yet, but they will get it right, and it's going to take them a bit of time to get it right.
All right. I'm looking for both teams to score in this match.
Yeah, I think you could be on the same there now, honestly.
2.1 William Hill.
Yeah.
They have both scored in 2 of their 3 matches. I think we're going to see both teams to score. I think this could be a 1-1 draw.
And they're good fans as well. I'm glad. I believe. Do you recognise that Middlesbrough's a Premier League club? They deserve to be there, right, mate?
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, Middlesbrough have always been a club that have always never had the support because, it's been a working class place. And you look at the television screens, they never have enough support. But I tell you what, this side's a good side. They've got a good manager who's learned his trade at Barcelona. And I think they'll be a top half team this season. I think they're a surprise package.
Yeah,
I want to be Crystal Palace.
All right.
No bet for me.
Okay, Stoke versus Tottenham is the next match we're going to preview. Tottenham 1.85 on Pinnacle. They are the favourites. They are away, but I think they're looking very strong. Obviously, they've got a striker, Vincent Janssen, who's looking to. He'll be playing in this match, looking to sort of emulate his success at Manchester United. I just like Tottenham win 1.85 against Stoke, who are at the bottom of the table right now.
Guess what? I don't. I'm telling you now, Stoke's winning. I like betting on Stoke. It's a difficult place to visit, even if it's September or a Wednesday night in November. I believe they get the job done. I think Tottenham are grossly overrated. And I believe we're going to see a home win. And I'm loving it. I'm getting over 4.75 now with Pinnacle. Is that right?
I've got 3.6. Where'd you get your odds from?
4.75. I got that with 365 this morning. Maybe,
nice.
I don't know.
No, I've got, 4.6, 4.75. That must be bet 365.
Yeah, 365. Though I put that one in because I think that's going to drop. What do you reckon about that price, Nigel? That's a really good price, all jokes aside, mate, right?
Well, I mean, if you look at the paper, I'm not going to have a bet on this game. And I look at this game. I think Tottenham are ridiculously short. Ridiculous. I think they probably may win the game, but I think they're ridiculously short. So I wouldn't back them.
But you wouldn't be surprised for Stoke to win, though, mate, would you?
Well, I spoke to Natalie about this game about 2 hours ago, and Natalie, we spoke on Twitter about this game, and I said Tottenham will win. When I actually came home and saw the prices of the game, I looked here and thought, Tottenham odds on to win at Stoke. Not a chance for me. So my heart, it's one of these ones where your heart rules your head. Your heart is telling you definitely Tottenham will win. My head is saying that Stoke are absolutely unbelievably value. So now my heart is obviously ruling towards the lovely Natalie, and my head is ruling to the not so lovely JJ. So I'm going to go for the draw.
Well, that's...
You'll take it how it comes, eh?
I'll take it how it comes, but all things aside, Nigel noticed being an ex-trader as well. This is a game that we would love, Nigel, isn't it? You know, with that price is a juicy price, and it may end up being a draw this game, to be honest. But I'm taking Stoke, and I really believe they're going to win.
If I was sitting in a trading booth now, running one of the big books, and a guy come on and wanted £100,000 or $100,000 on Tottenham at 1.85. It's probably one of the most comfortable bets that I'm happy to lay in the Premier League this weekend.
Yeah, mate, totally with you.
All right. Moving on, West
Whether
Ham.
it wins or not, at 1.85 or 1.86 or 1.7, whatever the price is, it's too short.
You just smash it, yeah. You'd love it, mate, wouldn't you? All day long. You'd be crying for that to come through.
All right, well, let's hope it does.
It is. I told you, I'm not joking. I'm going 9 out of 9 now.
10 out of 10.
Well, the 10 games, but I've got 9 picks.
All right.
So that's 9 out of 9. Mr. Professional.
Okay, West Ham versus Watford is the next match we're going to preview. I think West Ham are looking super strong. They've got key players returning now. I think that break is returning to fitness. Yes, they are for the Irons. West Ham to win is my bet, 1.87. Comfortable home win. Watford are struggling. 0 wins, 2 losses. And a draw. The stats speak for themselves, JJ.
Nah, you know I love you, mate.
Cool it.
I getting me fired up. This is my game. I'm telling you, Watford are winning this game. That's not their own. Our best friend there, Nigel, said that's not the Hammers' own, mate, is it?
Not at all. Not at all. Again, they're a price. I think they're worth taking on. Whether I think that Watford are any value in this game, they probably are a bit of value. Whether they're good enough to win, I'm not so sure.
4.33, mate, I'm getting.
Which one are you taking?
I'm going to bet in, Natalie. For me, it's a game to avoid.
Really?
I reckon West Ham's garbage, mate, as well. Do you?
Sorry, what's that?
I reckon West Ham can be absolute garbage as well. Do you reckon?
I do. I think they are, but I do think they've got 2 key players, JJ. I went to see West Ham about half a dozen times last season.
Yeah.
Dimitri Payet, as we saw in the Euros, is an unbelievable player.
He's world class.
Andy Carroll, all the stick he gets makes that team click. Now these 2 players are probably more influential to any other side in the Premier League than any other team. Without them, as we saw against Bournemouth at home, we saw them against this season. They're very mediocre. With those 2 sides, they suddenly become a good team.
But
the reports over Payet's back.
But you wouldn't be surprised if you saw a sneaky Watford 1 or 2-0 win, would you?
It wouldn't surprise me at all because I speak to people at West Ham. I speak to the fans who go there. It's a strange atmosphere. It's not like the hostile place at West Ham. And like I spoke to, I don't know if I mentioned to you guys when we spoke to before, but I spoke to a leading odds compiler in the UK, a soccer odds compiler from one of the big 3 books in the UK.
Yeah.
He said the move from the Olympic Stadium to Upton Park will cost West Ham 14 points they predicted this season at home. So whether they drop 2 points is a different thing.
And I like West Ham. There's a little bit of a West Ham, a lot of West Ham friends, and it was an intimidating place to go. And now when you've got the bloody running track around the, I went and watched Costa Rica and Panama the other night, but because it was so full, it was actually a really good atmosphere. But it was just without that running track around, it disrupts the atmosphere. I remember Alex Ferguson once saying the unique thing about English football is how close you are to the action, Nige, right? That's what
I totally agree. I totally agree with you, JJ. But listen, I've watched our videos. I spoke to you the last 4 weeks. I know you've never ever been near a running track, so please don't use that as an excuse.
Well, I've had a look at one. I threaten to go running around it, but leave that for another day. But I do get up at 5 o'clock every morning. I'm on the treadmill and I'm analysing things before most other tipsters have even brushed their teeth.
Okay. Moving on, Liverpool versus Leicester. Final match on Saturday. Liverpool 1.67. I've got Leicester 5.55.
Who are you going for, Matt?
Well, hang on. Just finishing doing the odds, all with Pinnacle here, and I'm skipping because I tell you what, they've both had 1 win, 1 loss, 1 draw, both shaky. I think it's crazy to take Liverpool at 1.67.
Yeah.
I think incredibly underpriced. Absolutely would expect or wouldn't be surprised if a Leicester win.
Yeah.
Current champions. The draw, double chance, something like that. Not for me, I'm afraid.
All jokes that, and I'm sure Nigel feels saying there's like one of the few weekends where I wish I wasn't a bookie with these prices. I swear. And guess who I'm taking, Nigel?
I know you're going to take JJ. You're a trader. You're a guy who's working in the industry. You cannot possibly take Liverpool. You're going to take Leicester double chance, Leicester draw no bet, whatever you can, because it is the right call.
Yeah, Leicester, do not forget, Nigel reminded me of this, Natalie, are the current champions of England. They are going to go to Anfield and they are going to win.
Just one quick thing to think about though. Leicester make their Champions League debut next week, right? Is this going to be on their mind? Could this hinder them? Almost like stage fright going in,
I don't know. What do you reckon, Nige?
That's just something to think about.
Well, the first thing I would say to you is that Leicester are a much better side away from home than they are at home. They won the Premier League last season by going away and winning games and making it difficult scoring goals. So they don't mind not giving the possession and they hit people on a counter-attack. When they went to Liverpool last season, they didn't have Jamie Vardy in the team. And he's going to be a big threat against the Liverpool side. Liverpool conceded unbelievable. They've conceded 6 goals in their opening 2 games. 6 goals. That's a massive
True,
yeah, it is true.
So I think Leicester will score. They cause them all kinds of problems. And you've got to remember the group they've been handed: Bruges, Copenhagen, and I can't remember the other two off the top of my head. But it's an easy group.
That's right.
I don't think
Bruges away. They're heading to Bruges.
They won the Premier League winning this kind of football.
Yeah,
I think they go there. I think they win easy. I don't think they win easy, but I think the draw no bet here at 4.0 is an unbelievable price. Unbelievable price. Liverpool, the most inconsistent side in the Premier League for the last 3 years. Nothing has changed.
My dad's a Liverpool fan for all his sins.
But the thing is, though, now, all things aside as well, I mean, Liverpool could go out and win 4-0. We don't know, right? We just don't know what team is going to show up. And,
are they the team that lost to Burnley 2-0? Are they the team that beat Arsenal? Yeah, exactly.
It's true, and all day long, you got to do it. You can't eat value, as Nigel correctly says, but you can turn the value into the Reddies, and then you can buy some lobster. And that's what I'm going to be doing on that game.
I'll be eating cod and chips, but
that's it.
All right, Sunday's match. This is Swansea versus Chelsea. Chelsea are in incredible form. They've bounced back, struggled last season, 1.68. I actually like that price. Stick it in an accumulator. That's my bet.
I mean, that's the only game I'm off there, Nat, to be honest.
I don't know why you would play that one.
I just think it's a very... I don't know.
I think Swansea is struggling. I think this is going to be an easy, even Chelsea -1, something like that.
I don't know. I really want you to win, genuinely, but I don't know, Nige. I just find it a trap game, mate, there. What's your thoughts?
I think Chelsea are very short. I don't like backing team odds on away from home in the Premier League at the best of times, but this early part of the season, I really don't want to touch them. I think Chelsea are another side like Man United, Man City. They haven't really played anybody.
Yeah.
They haven't played any big games. They've won. This is a tough test for them. Swansea won this game last year 1-0.
Yeah.
They also got 2-2 at Stamford Bridge as well. there was the famous game when Eden Hazard got the ball boy kept the ball and he hit the ball when they won in the Capital One Cup. But I think this is a tricky one. At the prices, I think Swansea might get something. I think going to Wales is always a very, very tough place to go for the top sides. And I think draw no bet here, Swansea, around about double chance with Paddy Power at 2.36 is a decent bet here. I wouldn't be backing Chelsea at the prices, not at all.
There we go. So you're doing Swansea double chance. I like Chelsea win. Final match here of our week 4 Premier League rundown. Sunderland versus Everton. Monday's Premier League match. I do love a match on Monday, I have to say.
Yeah.
Everton 2.06. Sunderland 3.9. Now, I have to say, all week I have been liking the Everton win. But everybody I've spoken to saying Stadium Light is a very, very hard place to go and visit and win. Do you agree with that? Do you think we're going to see an Everton win?
We are going to see an Everton win, and that's going to make me 9 out of 9 because Everton are going to get the job done. The only thing I don't like about it is the price. It seems a little bit too good to be true. What do you reckon, Nige?
I want to take them on, JJ.
You
I want to say Everton. Yeah,
I don't blame you, mate.
The reason I want to say Everton on is because David Moyes factor.
Yeah, that's right.
Against his former club. I think he was brilliant at Everton, raising his game against the big sides. He's not the most tactical gifted of coaches we saw at Manchester United, but he can get his team up for one game. And I think this will be one game he looked at the season and thought, this is the game I want my players to perform in. Sunderland won this game last season 3-0 at home. Everton, I think they're going to do really well this season. But I just look at this one and I look at the prices and I can't believe with the Moyes factor thrown in, that you can get almost 3-1 or 4.0 about Sunderland here. I think that night-time game there, that will be rocking, and I think this will be a very, very tough test for Everton. I think if they get a draw from it, they'll be very happy.
Yeah, it's a good Monday night game, isn't it, mate? It should be a really, really good match, and I was a bit excluding the Moyes factor, but it's going to be very, very pertinent in this game. But I'll tell you what, it's going to happen, and we're only a couple of hours away from the Caribbean, and this weekend, after all these cash, I'm going to be on the Caribbean side of this country, sipping on champagne, whilst Captain Obvious at home, taking all these big favourites, will be crying his warm beer in the wind and rain.
Wait, JJ, we're friends here, mate.
I wasn't saying about you, Nige. I wasn't saying about you, fella. I'm talking about the Captain Obvious at home.
He'd be wheeling all those wheelbarrows around he's got in his garden.
They're going to be all... This is a weekend where the bookies clean up, and I bet like a bookie, and I'll be on the Caribbean this weekend, sipping champagne with the Caribbean breeze, eating lobster. Captain Obvious playing all his short favourites, will be crying his warm beer in the wind and rain.
What will you be doing, Nigel?
Natalie,
I've got a picture of what JJ will be doing. What will you be doing?
As a layer, I think if you're playing as a bookie or as a layer, I think Tottenham are a very uneasy favourite. I think Chelsea are a very uneasy favourite. I think Everton are a very uneasy favourite. And I also believe that West Ham could possibly be an uneasy favourite as well. And I think if you lay those four, you go against this four, you'll be all right. I agree with JJ. But let me tell you something. JJ might be eating lobster, but he looks more and more like one every single week I see him on it.
I'm getting fired up thinking about it, mate. I thought my head's going to explode. All things aside, guys, we want to educate the punters at home as well. I know it's Thursday night there now in the UK. Do you like getting your bets in? Like, would you put your bets in about now, mate, or would you wait?
Really, because the thing is for me, JJ, I think the market moves over here seem to happen around about sort of Friday lunchtime, Saturday. Team news is everything.
Yeah.
We're talking about this now hypothetically, but if Harry Kane's injured for Tottenham and he's rested for the Champions League, it makes a huge difference. So for me, I wait till I look around the day, I look at the thing, and also I look at the weather. I mean, people don't really consider weather in the UK football, but I think if we get the weekend weather in the UK is supposed to be torrential rain, which means for me the goal lines go down, everything goes down. The favourites will find it hard. You know, Stoke against Tottenham in the rain, Stoke will relish that.
Yeah,
so I look at certain different things.
Yeah, exactly. So what you said is while it's shopping around, mate, like you can now with obviously sportsbookreview.com, you're also leaving it as late as you possibly can when you've got all of the information and you've seen the money moves. Is that what you're saying, Nige?
Exactly. And if they sort of back my view as well, then if I lose a couple of points on it, I'm happy because by kick-off time, it'll be 10 points shorter than what it actually is when I play Slovakia.
Right.
All right. Great stuff. Let's wrap this up here now. Week 4 Premier League picks from Jamie James and Nigel Seeley. Guys, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Natalie. Thank you, Nigel.
See you later, boys. Take care.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts and shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.